Okay, kiddos, we're going to move to September 1962. September. And this is part of the, we didn't start the fire history here a little bit. September 25th of 1962, Sonny Liston defeated Floyd Patterson just 2 minutes into the first round of their World Championship boxing match in Chicago. Liston beats Patterson. On September 25th, 1962, Sonny Liston defeats Floyd Patterson just 2 minutes into the very first round of their World Championship boxing match in Chicago. That's on the We Didn't Start the Fire, right? Now, the significance of Liston's victory over Floyd Patterson on September 25th of 1962 is that it will set the stage for his upcoming heavyweight championship fight with Olympic gold medal winner Cassius Clay, who becomes Muhammad Ali. And this is where Cassius Clay comes out of the Olympics with a gold medal and knocks out Sonny Liston to become heavyweight champion of the world. And we'll hear the Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali story when we get into sports in the 60s next semester. But on September 25th of 1962, Sonny Liston defeats Floyd Patterson just 2 minutes into the first round of their World Championship boxing match in Chicago. And Liston's victory over Patterson will set the stage for his upcoming heavyweight championship fight with Olympic gold medal winner Cassius Clay. Okay? September 30th. The admission of a Negro student to the University of Mississippi is going to stir up violent passions of segregationist whites. Okay? The admission of a Negro student to the University of Mississippi is going to stir up violent passions of segregationist whites in our country. And we'll get into this in detail later when we get into President Kennedy and civil rights. But what happened is James Meredith, this fellow right here, this is really quite a story we'll get into later, even a preview. James Meredith was an Air Force veteran, a Negro that served our country in the armed forces, and when he got out of the armed forces, he wanted to attend the University of Mississippi. And they would not let him in. Mississippi Governor Ross Barnett prevented James Meredith from enrolling at the University of Mississippi. And that whole scenario resulted in violent riots all across the campus and the city. And it'll be quite a story as we get into President Kennedy and civil rights and then moving to President Johnson's civil rights. But it was on September 30th of 1962 that the admission of James Meredith to the University of Mississippi stirred violent passions of segregationist whites, led to riots and a serious confrontation between Mississippi Governor Ross Barnett and President Kennedy. They are going to get into quite a discussion, and I can assure you who's going to win the discussion. But the admission of that student after Kennedy told Barnett that he would let him in resulted in violent riots at the University of Mississippi. So, anyway, we move on to October. October 16th through the 28th. 16th through the 28th. The Cuban Missile Crisis will occur between Cuba, the United States, and the Soviet Union. October 16th through 28th, the Cuban Missile Crisis will occur between Cuba, the United States, and the Soviet Union. That's it. We'll pick up that test material when we get back after Christmas. So, what I'm going to give you now, because I am the gift that keeps on giving, I'm going to give you an AP United States History 2 review on paper for the test so that you can take between now and Thursday to get your act together. Which means that we will be using Monday and Tuesday to watch various videos. We will not have a review. So I will hand these out, keep these, and I'll try to explain what they mean. And we'll make sure we get those to those kids that aren't here on Monday. And this is your review. We will not do one orally. We'll just give you the review, and you get it all figured out and get yourself prepped for this test. And I'll kind of explain what we're going to have here, okay? You don't have to turn this in. It's got your name, but you don't have to turn it in. It's simply your review. And you're going to have 25, I think it is, matching questions. Maybe more, maybe, how many is on here? Yeah, 20. These are people that we have talked about during the lecture, and I gave you the answer. You need to find out who that person is. But they're going to be in the form of matching, yeah? Okay, just a second then. So we'll have 20 matching questions. You need to figure out who those people were that I have there. And then you could obviously see the short answer questions about the Bay of Pigs. There's quite a bit in there. We talked about why President Kennedy chose his brother as Attorney General, the 4 goals of the New Frontier, 3 reasons that President Kennedy did not intervene when the Berlin Wall was being constructed, why did he ground John Glenn from further space flights, an example of his height of his popularity, what was the profession of Robert McNamara prior to his appointment to the Kennedy cabinet. I did that in honor of Keller Rogers. And concerning the space race, bold prediction Kennedy made, and the senior member of the Mercury 7. I'm not being mean, but I am not answering these questions for you. You are getting this review, and you will get together with whomever you'd like, unless you're maybe a lone studier, and put this together, and the test will be next Thursday. This is your review. Okay? A small Christmas gift. So get that filled out, know that, and you will be in awesome shape for Thursday.